Welcome, Cynthia here. Today I'm working on a 12 by 12 layout and I'm going through the papers here from my May kit from the Kitaholic Kit Club. And I've pulled these papers up on the right there, or those small scraps, are from my stash. So the bigger papers here are from the collection or from the kit, and then I've pulled some bits and pieces in from my stash to try to help use up my stash a little bit. So I have two photos here of Nerf bullets in the kitchen drawer where you put your utensils, and a Nerf gun. And I'm going to cut them up and mount them on some white cardstock. I generally do that with most of my photos. End up mounting them on white cardstock of some description. Now I quite often use the package that product come in, like your ephemera packs and stuff like that. I use that white piece of cardstock that comes in here in that. So now I'm going through the papers, deciding what I like to use. A lot of the blues that was in the kit was a very bright blue, and it wasn't quite the blue that I was looking for. So I've used a couple of grey pieces here. I've pulled those out and I'm seeing whether I can use any of those. Now this blue piece of paper off to the right there, that I had laid across the paper, that is actually from a Star Wars gift bag, but I really liked the logo and the colours, and I thought I might keep it. I'd use it on a layout somewhere with the boy. I thought I'd probably use it with a page about Star Wars, but here I am cutting it down, and I decide that I like that. So I cut it up the middle, make it a little bit shorter. It was a little bit too thick, and then I also trim it down into more of a banner as well, so it doesn't go all the way across the page. Just having a look to see what else I can layer up and use. I'm getting rid and packing away anything that I no longer want out. Quite like a little bit of this blue, and because it's got some of the darker blue in the middle as well, so I believe I end up gutting that piece of paper. Yes, I gut it and use the middle to help mount the photos on as well. So I'm just going to trim out the center here, and I initially think that I will use that paper to mount the whole layout on, but as I go along you see that I end up coming up with a different doing something a bit different, and I don't end up using it. So I've cut that down into a banner. I'm going to lay that across there, cut off the branding strip. Just showing you the paper that I'm using. How's everyone been? You all been well? You all managing to do a little bit of crafting or painting or whatever it is that you like to do, project life? I have had a little bit of I've slowed down a little bit over the last few days. I had a big couple of weeks around National Scrapbooking Day. So since then I still have a project out on my desk every day, but I'm skipping a day here and there. I just sit here and look at it from a distance. So I haven't done a great deal, and I did have a nice lot of videos sitting ready to upload, but I see I'm slowly but surely chewing them up, as I haven't made any new ones, so I thought, I better get on and start making some more. This is one of the older ones. I made this layout some time ago and just doing the voiceover for it now. So I've trimmed that paper down, and I've also used another piece of that dark polka dot grey paper as well. Not exactly sure what I want this layout to do, where I'm trying to go with it. So now I'm just going to go through the ephemera pieces that come in the kit to see whether or not there's anything there that I can use. Thought about using that strip there, but decided against it, and quite like the look of this wood veneer. So this is where I decide that I'm going to trim these pieces down to make up the corner arrows or corner triangles, and put one up in the top, one in the bottom. I thought I might try to use a couple of these wood pieces, but I find the ones that have the hashtag cool and rad, I think ultimately I find they're too big for the corner. Maybe. Can't quite remember. I was quite nervous about doing that, whether cutting that chipboard, whether it was going to be too much for my scissors, but they did it without any problems. Going through, pulling out anything that's generally in the colour scheme that I like, the blues, the greys, the blacks, and then seeing what I can use. Quite like that black word there that says "You rock." I think that's going to go well with this layout. So the layout, as I said, is of 2 photos of Nerf bullets and a gun in the cutlery drawer. We have Nerf battles in this household, and on this particular day I won the battle by the simple fact that every time they fired a shot at me, I'd pick it up and stash it without them knowing, and ultimately they all ran out of bullets, and I had lots and lots of bullets. So I was the queen of the Nerf that day. They couldn't quite figure out where the bullets were. But sneaky mama had hid them. Now they seemed to think that was cheating, but I kind of disagreed with that. I thought that was a fair play. So I obviously lost a piece of the film, the footage. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether I didn't record it or what has happened. But I've come, as you can see, I've come back and I now have my title down, Queen of the Nerf, and I've got a few embellishments around. Decided that I think the layout would look good with a little bit of a border, so I'm going through my pens and having a look for an orange one. I thought I'd just draw a rough border around the edge, and so having a look to see which is the orange that I like. I really love this star. It's a nice bright colour, but it takes me a while to shuffle it around. Same with this flare that's got a couple of circles on it, which reminds me of sort of like a target practice, so I put that down there as well. There I go, just drawing a messy border around the rest of the layout, and I really like the way that looks, helps frame it a little bit more. Still deciding on what I want to do with the that star, exactly where I'm going to put it, but I really like the way that's looking, and there's not a lot left to do. To my journaling, a couple more bits and pieces, and that's pretty much the way it ends up looking. I love that top little cluster up there in the right hand corner with the word play, and it's just got that tag underneath and a couple of little embellishments. So the orange, the blue star is just from the foam thickers, where they have some little extra pieces. So I put one of those up there to carry the same colour or theme or texture through. So I have it in the word Queen in that star, and also have another star down in that bottom right hand cluster as well. So I think I come back in a minute and all the journaling's done. I just wrote about what I spoke about a moment ago, how I was sneaky and hid all the bullets until they ran out, and I ultimately was the winner of the battle. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions at all, please leave them. I love reading your comments and answering any questions. Add a couple of enamel dots around, black just to carry on, because I've got a couple of little pops of black with that U rock and that label up in the top, and a bit in the title. And that's it, as I said. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you come back and watch again in the future. Putting the date on, and then that is it for sure. I won't come back after I say it this time. Catch you next time. Bye.